Everyone who'd been watching the situation erupted into hysterical laughter at the sight of the duplicitous dipstick nursing his burnt pointer. The maggot man lowered his head in shame. Of course, with hindsight, it's totally obvious that this loser was just trying to score some free food. I'm willing to bet that Jared never saw a dime from those losers. It did totally tank the business image. Couldn't have happened to nicer people, if you ask me. It's the fact that even after he destroyed her property, she was kind enough to drive him to the hospital. Man, I'd have left him to his own devices. You're a better person than me, system. The lazy slob couldn't handle the struggle of moving his own legs any longer, so that means old Yvonne was left with a question. What the hell does she do with her yard, given that it looks like a war zone? I can't say that I care, really.
You moron, you idiot, you hemorrhoid on the anus of humanity. It should have been your brain that you replaced, not your hair.
Whoever was in charge of this project had buttered toast where their brain should be. So these hideous losers sit, picking their belly buttons. Please, ChatGPT, go to work so I can spend more time eating boogers. And you screwed up both, you worthless wastes of space. It's obvious where they should go. Why do this? Why become such a vile, disgusting creature? But this goblin somehow managed it. Tear it down, shove it into a grinder, and use the raw materials to make a mallet, then hit yourself over the head with it. That's if it's gonna have any benefit. Some mushroom head. How hard to use the mirror, you dung head. You smooth-brained clowns. Some colossal dunderhead. Who created this? Are they alone and vulnerable right now? Because I want to come over there and introduce them to my fists. Oh, dang it. You slimy, pathetic little slugs! Slugs! I tell you. Oh my god, the elephant. Painted by a slug artist. They slimed and squidged their way all over the wall, painting this hideous monstrosity. Elephants don't have human mouths or noses on their trunks, and the stovetop. You better believe a slug man did this, installed by the biggest slug around. This cake. Slug cake. Cake cut by slugs. Slugs! The owner took him to court, and if he's found guilty, it's safe to assume Dominic will lose more money than if he'd just taken the initial loss. But that's not what this is about. It's about teaching that homeowner a lesson in cold, petty revenge.
No, it's not. Be amazed. No, it's no.
Unsurprisingly, she not only failed the module, but was also under threat of expulsion. Ah, sweet justice. A few weeks later, she called the moron, and our moronic plasterer was beside himself, but simply blocked them all until the idiot got bored. The only thing that could have made this sweeter is if the van also had his mailing address. I know exactly what I'd send him. We'll call Glarb. Glarb was, most importantly, making Glarb's lunch. Glarb was so impressed with the dog food chili. On the fifth day, Glarb's cousin Flarb and Flarb would wind up spilling the beans to the guy eventually, but he only ever thought it was the one time. In shock, his bro spat out 5 teeth and his fillings with them. The old frozen Choco trick. Nicely done, Josh. Turns out, Nico had anticipated the attack and filled his bag with thumbtacks. The kind you stick on those cork boards. The tacks pierced the bully's hand, causing him to bleed all over the place. Ouch. Apparently, he even wound up with an infection from the wound. Bada boom. I love it when a bully feels the cold, unflinching smack of payback. Now, despite Nico's classmates celebrating his actions, rejoicing that someone finally stood up to their bully, he was unfortunately expelled by the school.
So a lot of people seem to be agreeing with Be Amazed in how Nico was wrongfully punished. And I, gotta say, I agree with them. Like seriously. God forbid a kid commits assault just because his friends had been bullied. Speaking of bullies, let's get back to Be Amazed. Okay, so this next one is more of someone else being mean for not caring about their loved one's tragic death, but Be Amazed incorporates his trademarked bullying into it, so I would say it qualifies.
See, her husband passed away in an accident in 2024, leaving her to care for their 2 daughters. That said, Scaredy wasn't too broken up about it. See, the two sons he had with that floozy. So the slimy couple and the awful old bats, the grotesque grandparents, instead claiming that the floozy. In the end, they were shamed into leaving the church outright, completely alienated by their community. Couldn't have happened to a nicer pair of vile old. But being a grotesque goblin man was only half the issue. When he finally did emerge from the stall, he announced that he was sick and heading home. Melvin was shown the door. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving loser. Now, we all know bullies are secretly cowards, right? And mock the losers for crying like babies. Hell, in the end, the duo came to the conclusion that they'd have to move away again to escape. Incredible. I can only imagine the look on Sophia's face. I bet it looked like a Renaissance painting. Hey, maybe after the two of them could go live in a dumpster together. That's where the trash belongs, after all. Each day, the lonely loser with a weakness for Neanderthals with room temperature IQs, and left Brody stewing in his misery. Chef's kiss. How'd that go for you, pal?
Cops is coming!
But it didn't protect her from the porch itself. I doubt she'll try that method of disguise again. You buffoon. Zero sympathy from me. You got this. Break a leg. Oh, ooh, I didn't mean literally. I guess she got what she deserved.
What am I going to do? She won't shut up. What am I doing?
Thank goodness for that. Oh, flawless execution, bro. Sure enough, an unsuspecting doofus. Well, that certainly worked. It didn't take long for one opportunistic dunderhead. Hopefully, the little brat got caught. But he is about to feel very embarrassed. Yep, instant karma had other plans. Yeah, we all knew that was coming. Now, I don't condone violence at all, but you've got to admit that's some karmic justice right there.
No, it is not.
Glorious. You might recover from the odor, but the humiliation, that's forever. But at least that loser was clearly caught on camera. Hopefully, having their purse stolen was a lesson enough. What the hell happened here? Did some filthy ignoramus... I'll bet this slop merchant, you pathetic freak of nature, all these filthy little freaks, these inbred ingrates. Well done, you lazy, wretched slug of a human being. Whatever you're being paid, you should go on strike to get paid more.
No, that's sarcasm.
You absolute maggots. Just like your smooth brain seeped out of your nose. Think that no matter how tiny your brain was, it'll be Christmas for the lucky slime ball. Basically every greasy goblin. You're just an inept loser, you complete moron. Idiots, losers, pigeon brains. They're all pathetic, worthless worms crawling through dirt, eating dirt, contributing nothing more but dirt to the world. These hideous, but you know what? These incompetent failures, dripping piles of sentient feces.